All right, Teddy, I want to show you something that is an example for you as to how the Spirit works inside me, with me. So this morning, I picked, or I should say last night, I was listening to this conference talk. And so this morning I decided to go to the next one, which is this one. This is a long session. This is an individual talk. I went and listened to this while I was in the shower. Got some good nuggets out of it. Felt like I had some good inspiration. It was some good stuff. And then when I was done, I listened to this one a couple times. I went to the next one. And when I went here, I had this sense as I swiped this way that there was something in here for you. I specifically had a sense and a feeling that there was something in here for you. I didn't know what it was. It wasn't clear. It just was like, pay attention. So I was paying attention. And then at the very end, he quoted one of my favorite scriptures, which is this author and finisher of our faith. And it jumped out at me not only as one of my favorite scriptures, but as the answer and the thing that I was supposed to teach you. But I didn't know anything else. It was just, that's what you're supposed to teach Teddy and Emily. And I thought, okay, cool. I love that scripture. But I didn't know how I was going to teach it. I didn't know when or where. I just knew that the time would come that I was going to get to teach you that today. And so when things didn't quite turn out the way that you wanted, getting the job and everything else, and we're standing there in line getting our drinks, I said, oh, cool, I already have the scripture for you, because I knew this was a perfect scripture for the situation. So when I had you go to the scripture, you got to experience kind of the quirkiness of the way that the Spirit works in me, and that is that while I love this scripture and what he quoted, looking unto Christ, Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, is great, your answer, the real key, I think, to this fitting this scenario in this situation required us to dig a little deeper and look a little further. And we had to go above what was actually quoted and find this part about patience. The race that is set before us was what added the real context to why this scripture and Jesus and being the author and finisher of our faith is the answer. So I'm recording this so that you can start to see that the Spirit just puts little thoughts in your head, and then your response to that thought, your belief, your digging, your listening to the thought and going and listening to the conference talk, or listening to the thought and looking up in the footnote, what did that scripture say? What's the reference to that when words that you're listening to jump off the page at you or jump out at you? That's like a little lure or an invitation from the Spirit to dig a little deeper, to look a little closer, to try and find an answer a little bit more. And then you get rewarded with experiences like we had this afternoon, where even though you got some bad news, we realized that could be either a stepping stone or a stumbling block. We chose to look at the scripture and step up on this block and realize that because he is the author and finisher of our faith, Jesus must have something better in store for you than getting that job today. So I just wanted to share that with you and let you know I love you, brother.